Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Our topic today is Serving with Heart, the journey of purpose, sacrifice and calling. I'm a TV presenter on USA Global TV and Radio and the resident therapist. A very, very warm welcome to our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV and our usual friends on social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn and X. I'm Caroline HEWARD. I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured, and this feels a little bit strange today. I'm thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacalyn as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show, A Woman's Prerogative. And tonight, our special guest is none other than the amazing Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. She is the founder and president and chief listening officer for the channel. She is the executive producer of USA Global TV and Radio. She is the Amazon best-selling author of many books, so many I've lost count. I'm sure Dr. Jacalyn will fill you in. She is a certified holistic life and career and executive coach. She is certified as a yoga instructor, and she is the listening mentor for the channel. She is the Crohn's and Colitis board member. She is a visionary in her leadership. She has created a platform here, USA Global TV and Radio, which is worldwide and exposes market and integration of enhanced business profiles. Let's bring out our wonderful star, our missionary, and our leader, USA Global TV and Radio's Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck.
Wow. Hi, Caroline. How are you? So good to be here.
I feel very honoured to be here today. And as I mentioned to you backstage, it's going to feel very strange because normally when there's you and I only, I'm usually grilled. So it feels very strange to be hosting in this way and very honouring as well. I feel deeply grateful to be in this position because I wanted to be able to give you that grand opening. So please, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you. That's very nice. I appreciate it. I feel like maybe I've accomplished something in my life.
You've accomplished a lot. And when we were backstage, if you're listening here on the live or the replay, we were having a little discussion because I did still feel very awkward about being the host of this show, as Dr. Jacalyn is the star and the overriding super wow superstar and guest of our show today, A Woman's Prerogative. And I was rather hoping she said, and was quite happy for me to host. And at the same time, I wanted to give the opportunity, well, if you want to host, that's okay. But I wanted to give you that grand opening of coming in and being introduced in this way. So thank you for allowing me that opportunity.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you.
So Dr. Jacalyn, For our viewers, especially ones that are here for the first time and anyone that's listening on the replay or the live, can you please share with our viewers a little bit about what you do and how you help people and the contribution and the amazing things that you bring to our global audience and to personal people within your team?
Thank you, Caroline. It feels weird to spotlight myself as I'm producing the show too. But what I do is I've created what I hope is a legacy that will live long after I'm gone, to give people a place where they feel comfortable sharing their story and their journey through elevated listening. And when I'm not here on the channel, which I'm usually here backstage, I would say behind the camera, doing all of the admin and the production work, which is what I really do love to do. In the beginning, I was doing a lot of the hosting, but it's a true gift to be able to train people to take over the shows themselves. And that is what really gives me a kick, I should say. So what I do is help people learn how to listen at an elevated level, which means without judgment, interruption, problem solving, or stealing the stage. And I do that through my courses, through workshops, and through my books. And on our platform here at USA Global TV and Radio, we provide world-class education. So my role is to train people on how to host a television show without a script and how to be present and fully engaged during the time that they're here, making their guests look like heroes.
Wow, Dr. Jacalyn, thank you so much for that. It feels like we're back to the drawing board in terms of why I joined the channel. And so for me, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm a TV host and an expert presenter on USA Global TV and Radio. And on the 7th of July, I will have been with the channel under two different guises with Dr. Jacalyn. Dr. Jacalyn's Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn and USA Global TV and Radio for 4 years on the 7th of July.
Woo!
21 which is when I joined. So it feels like it's a huge, big deal for me to have spent that long, and that time's gone very quickly. I'm also the resident therapist, and I don't think that I gave myself and earned the title of TV presenter until I had been with Dr. Jacalyn for at least a couple of years. And then Dr. Jacalyn awarded me, yes, you are a TV presenter. And so then I started using that term, but really I've been here since July, the 7th of July, 2021. I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I'm also a Talking Heads expert presenter, and I have a show on Thursday. It's always the last Thursday of the month, and this week my show is going to be on social media and its impact on bullying, and in particular I'm going to be looking at incel, as has come out of a documentary drama series that I watched on Netflix, so more about that maybe a little later. And I also help people break through the patterns that create their stress, of their repeating patterns, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or behavioral. I use a simple process that obliterates the blueprint of where the pattern was created in the first place. And so I call it busting your stress. I also do talks online and in person with companies for lunch and learn, and I also do talks on stage. So that's you can also find me and follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook. Those are my preferred platforms. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacalyn. So now for our wonderful topic to explore: serving with heart, the journey of purpose, sacrifice, and calling. Dr. Jacalyn, what does serving with heart mean to you in terms of following your calling? Because you've done different things. So that term, what does it mean to you, serving with heart?
To me, it means putting your ego aside and thinking about the greater good, the collective good, what will impact the most number of people in a positive way.
What was it that made you decide to do this channel? Because prior to that, you were doing something completely different. Please share with our viewers what you were doing before and what was the motivation in terms of setting up USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, Caroline. Yes, I was in corporate and I was selling meetings and events, employee recognition programs, and I did that for about 28 years, and that was really rewarding, and I got to see a lot of the world, and I got paid very well. And I was contacted by a radio station in New York asking me if I wanted to be interviewed, not about what I was doing in corporate, but I had also gotten my certification to become a life, career, and executive coach. So I did the interview. It was about 8 minutes long. And then they followed up and said that I had all the things they were looking for and would I like to host my own TV show. So I thought, my own radio show, I'm sorry. So I thought about it and I decided yes. And this is the whole reason for starting the media platform, if you will. At the time, I was very ill. I had ulcerative colitis, and I got involved with the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, and I was able to share some of my story on the air. And so I was having guests book in to share their story, and I was literally booked out for over a year because we only had one show. It was on Fridays at 5. It was The Drive, live at 5, Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. And so I realized if people were able to share what they were going through instead of living in isolation and feeling like there was something wrong with them, that I could do this exponentially by adding more shows. And so we added 4 more radio shows. And then from there, I saw people were doing something on Facebook and YouTube. So I reached out to somebody, I didn't even know them, and asked what they were doing. And they had a producer. So I hired the producer and I learned what he was doing. And I learned how to take shows out over the radio. So I was doing television and radio at the same time because I felt like it was a great venue for people to share their story.
Wow, that's very inspirational, going from corporate and then having to do everything yourself pretty much. And that sounds like a really steep learning curve of learning to do the tech behind the production. That frightens me to do that kind of thing, to do the tech. So how did you find learning the tech and all the intricacies? Because many people have said, why don't you set up your own channel? And I've said, no, I can't do that. I couldn't do the tech. So what was it, Dr. Jacalyn, that made you move into that comfortability of being able to do the tech? Because you didn't know it. So how did you learn it and who were your mentors?
Thank you so much, Caroline. I decided to learn the technology based on what my father taught me when I was working for him. He was a new car dealer and I was the finance manager. And he always stressed that it's important to know every single department of your business, because if you don't, people will rob you blind. So I thought to myself, I need to learn every aspect of what it means to have a radio platform and a television platform, because at some point, you're dependent on somebody and that person might not be around to do what they need to do or what you hired them to do. So I need to know how to do it myself so that I can train other people and I can step in when needed. So my mentor, the first person, was from the radio station. His name was Chris, and he was a broadcast engineer. And he taught me how to do what he did. And it was really for selfish reasons at the time, meaning that I had 4 radio shows and it looked like I was going to go to 10. And he was the engineer on those radio shows, plus all the other shows he was dealing with. And he thought if he could offload some of the work to me, it would make it easier for him.
Wow.
So I was more than happy to do that. And then for the television platform, from a technology standpoint, I would have to say Al Cini was really a great mentor and coach for me in terms of what to do on the back end, because he's been one of our team members for, I guess, 4 years also, but he also worked for NBC and ABC, and he has a lot of experience in those areas.
Wow, just listening, I'm going like this and nodding and just wowing. That's amazing. So this is something that I want to explore in terms of when you are on a mission and you are in a calling, something that you want to do, the right people turn up. And you landed up being, you wanted to learn. And I love the fact that your father said, learn everything you need to learn, from every aspect of the job, so that you could step in. And I love that, because that's how I've learned from being in management from the ground up. It's what I know in terms of everything. And, we have a saying in England that the manager should be able to and should clean the toilet and never ask anyone to do something that they wouldn't do themselves. So I love this aspect that you're sharing about knowing everything about the business. And as if by magic, you land up with an engineer that passes some shows for you to do the engineering side and the production side of it. I think that's absolutely amazing. So, Dr. Jacalyn, from your perspective, you found all the right people. And I've met Alcini on the channel, and he's absolutely amazing in terms of, I can see he's been a real mentor to you. So do you think that we are born with this calling that becomes our calling, or do you think it evolves with time and change?
Caroline, I think it may be there all along, but we have to go on a certain path to get there. And interestingly enough, many years ago, I don't know what the year was or how old I was, but obviously I was a grown up, I was an adult. One of my sister's friends was visiting, and she's actually a psychic medium. And she asked me if I wanted a reading. And I said, okay. At the time, I really didn't believe in any of that, but I do now. And she did this reading. And basically she said, you will be on the red carpet one day. Now, there's no red carpet here. I don't see any red carpet. But what she meant was that I'd be in television or media or entertainment. And it's interesting because when I was in corporate, our company did a lot of work where they won Telly Awards. So they do videography. If you think about, since you're in corporate, a big national sales meeting, there's a big production part that goes along with that, with people coming on the stage and awards and the whole thing. And so I understood what needed to take place on the back end. And also for people who are meeting planners, I sold meetings and events. So I understood what needed to take place. So that was kind of a foundation. And then my mother got ill and I was taking care of her. And so I was literally in the house all the time because she had dementia. So what could I do when I was in the house? Put up a green screen and start broadcasting.
That's quite inspiring, because despite the family circumstances changing and caring for your mother, you landed up still producing and being on many shows. And I remember being on shows with you where your mother was taking a walk and you were, and she'd got a delivery that had come in. And yet to the external world, USA Global TV is broadcasting no matter what is happening, where it's happening. And it feels like it's how things have changed, how they've evolved, that you can have a huge channel, because it is global. The team is global from all over the world, from different parts of the world. I mean, I'm now in the UK and we still haven't moved to summertime yet. So we're now 20 past 6 almost in almost springtime, and you're already in springtime, and you're in America in springtime. So, and that makes me feel this truly is global. We would never have met if it wasn't for the green screen.
That's very true. And Caroline, we're almost at 100,000 subscribers just on our one channel, which is amazing. And the only area, I shouldn't say only, but one of the areas I have not mastered is search engine optimization. So we have a team of people who work on the channel on that, which is amazing because it gets us out to even more people. And when I just looked at the most recent report as to where people are watching from, in addition to the UK and the US, we have people in Vietnam. We have people in India. We have people in Russia. We have people in Ukraine. I mean, it's unbelievable when you think about it. It's
truly
amazing.
global. And with that, we are just going to pop over to a short commercial break and find out a lot more about Dr. Jacalyn and her amazing channel, USA Global TV and Radio. So we'll be back in a short while after our commercial break.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multidimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art, which I've named multidimensional, subliminal, freeform art, to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced. And now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio. And our topic tonight is Serving with Heart, the journey of purpose, sacrifice and calling. Our show is a woman's prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. We have the amazing and the wonderful super guest on our show tonight, the none other than Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. So coming out, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, from the producing of the show. It just feels good that you are at front of stage and not behind the scenes, because behind the scenes, Dr. Jacalyn is usually producing all the whizzy effects, but now she has two jobs to do. So, Dr. Jacalyn, we were talking about the fact that we truly are global, this station. And I mentioned the we as royal we because I feel very part of the fact that this team, it is a family. And there are people that within this family that I have known since the beginning, since I've been here. And there are people that are coming into the team, the family, that are in awe of the things that we have done. And I'm in awe of what they have done. And I feel that that's a mutual gratifying, we're all in gratitude of each other. And I feel that that is down, it's top down. It's the fact that you are transcending the gratitude and the love as a family from the top all the way down to the team members. What are your thoughts about using gratitude and the fact that the team is a family and feels like one?
Thank you, Caroline. I totally agree with you. And that really is what I've worked hard to achieve, is that we are a family and we are a community. And I think that differentiates us. If you think about the fact there are 5 million plus podcasts out there, and as you know, we're not a podcast, we're a live broadcast. We become a podcast after the fact, but we have a family here. We help one another. And my goal is to introduce as many people as possible to each other so that you can figure out how can you collaborate with other people. I know when I came from the radio world and I was on television on another channel, I was told that I had a choice to make. I could either be on that television station or I could be on the radio. And that was per the owner of the TV station. And I didn't understand that. And he said it was a conflict of interest. And I don't believe that. I think if you want to be on this channel, you're on another channel, you can be on as many channels as you want, because you're building a legacy and really, I want to say, a Bible of information, of education for people to refer to. And Caroline, I certainly appreciate your loyalty and you being here for all this time. And for people who don't know, you are the utmost professional. You have a lot of things going on in your life and nobody would know because you show up week after week, and people don't understand. You know this about me. I was broadcasting a few times, and my mother, she had dementia. She would leave the house, And people are like, oh, your mother is on XYZ highway and she didn't take the little thing that she's supposed to have in her shoe or whatever. She took it out. And I'm broadcasting my mom's. God knows where she is. But the show has to go on. And people don't realize what a commitment that it takes to put your emotions and your feelings aside so that you can show up and do this production. So I just want to honor you for all that you've done for all these years.
Thank you so much. I only shared with a friend, we were chatting on Messenger, and he's a musician. And I was just chatting with him saying it'll be 4 years in July. I can't believe where that time has gone. But one of the reasons that I'm here is because, and I shared this with him and with the director and owner of the Universal Peace Federation, who I had a conversation with earlier on this morning. And she says, well, why are you there for so long? I said, because I want to leave a legacy. I want to help people. And then this platform became a way that I could, beyond the one-to-one and beyond the one-to-many that I do, that people that wouldn't reach out and seek help and seek a therapy would probably Google and find a solution to their problems, and they would probably look at YouTube videos rather than reaching out. And it was those people I wanted to help. And long after I have gone, I wanted to leave a legacy. I wanted to leave something behind of me to help people. What are your thoughts about what I've just shared, Dr. Jacalyn, in terms of leaving a legacy? Because that's what I feel that you are doing with all of the people, all the experts and the amazing, amazing presenters and the guests. I mean, it's just absolutely staggering how many amazing stories and incredible people that you have attracted, because that's what I would say, it's attracted. You're like a magnet for people. So tell me, what is it that you're doing that's creating this magnetism to you and to your shows?
You know, it's so funny, Caroline. Thank you for that. Living alone as you live alone. You know, I think sometimes we really bash our heads against the wall, right? We're our toughest critics. I think what it is, if I can say yes, I work to say yes, as opposed to all the no's that you get. So when I was on another channel, can't do this, you can't talk to this person, wow, there's a lot of negativity. So here, if I can say yes, if it's actually possible, then let's do it. And as you know, I like to give feedback to people, and people like you are coachable. People like me are coachable. If somebody's not coachable, it's not a good fit for the channel. And the other day, I think you might have seen this show because I saw you posted a comment, but we have someone new, Talia Smith, and she came from Julianne Mejia. And she did a show on fluoroquinolone toxicity, antibiotics. And the number of people who were literally commenting during the live was unbelievable. There was like a renowned expert, Dr. Stefan Piper from, I think he says from Germany, who was on. And I literally just started to cry. I could cry again. But the reason being that one show was changing people's lives. People are living with this disease and they have nowhere to go. And they watch this show. They're like, oh my God, I have hope. So I think it's about bringing hope.
And that's a calling. And what you're sharing is the emotion that comes from being in a calling. When you are in a calling and on purpose in terms of your mission, what you want to achieve, there's been many times that I felt so emotional about something that it pushes aside any doubt or any frustration or any negativity or any challenge that I might have. And so when I become disconnected because I have other challenges that I'm dealing with, it then overrides that disconnect and it moves me forward, it propels me forward. And that's what I believe a calling does. When you have all that pressure and the negativity, and then you get something like that, you then sigh and say, it was worth it. it was worth it because look what happened. This is making a difference. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. I feel really emotional from what you've shared, and I haven't watched the show. I just saw what the topic was on, but I reposted it because it's an important topic. And the fact that somebody on the channel who's a new presenter is talking about it, I thoroughly endorse the fact that you awarded her as excellence, you know, for what she has achieved. And that is on my to-do list to watch. Dr. Jacalyn, do you have any other suggestions when you are suffering with burnout in terms of loss of passion or questioning your purpose? Share with our viewers what propels you when there are problems with burnout and losing the plot because you've got so many things going on that you've got to handle, and you've had a lot of things going on that you've had to handle, home moves, even, you know, family changes and circumstances, you know, moving from one end of the country, I think, to another part of America. So do you have any suggestions or recommendations for people that are suffering with these kinds of challenges and what they could do that you have done, that you just kind of step in and you're there every single time without fail? You are there.
Thank you, Caroline. You know, this year, and I know we're in Mercury retrograde 333 or whatever it is. I know there's a lot of change going on. And for me, as you know, I moved in November here in New Jersey. I didn't have heat. I didn't have working toilets. You would think I was in some third world country, but I'm in New Jersey in a very wealthy area. And then there was a flood. And so I had to move from my apartment. I was in a hotel for almost 2 weeks, I think 13 days. And during that time, I have ulcerative colitis. I have a major flare. I had to go for a colonoscopy. I got some bad news, which I'm still dealing with. And I really felt like the last few days, I just was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here anymore. I really don't know. And all of a sudden, I said to myself, you know what? Enough. You're acting like a victim. You are not a victim. You will handle it because you handle everything that comes your way. And I have a bigger calling. So going back to that legacy, I have a bigger calling. So if people are looking to me to empower them, I better get my act together. So that's what I would say to anybody going through a difficult time. Who out there is looking to you as a role model? Who's looking up to you? Whose hand needs to be held to be lifted up? That person is the one that you can, instead of saying to yourself, woe is me, I'm a victim, who can I help? Who can I empower? How can I be a leader? And how can I pick myself up so that I motivate other people to do the same thing?
Wow, thank you so much. I really do feel very heartened by what you've shared there, because we all are human and we all have things that go on, and you more than most. We all have challenges because life has its challenges. We have different things that we have to handle, and looking for balance, because when you're in a calling, it can actually be emotionally draining and at the same time very taxing in terms of the fact that we're in service. When you're in service to others, it can almost stretch and push out your boundaries, that you become more selfless to the other person or the other things that are taking over. So Dr. Jacalyn, in terms of balance, what are your thoughts about, and how have you managed balance and managing all the things that you have done? Because in this 4 years that I've been with you, I've seen some extremely amazing changes. So tell the viewers how you moved from doing all the shows to now doing some of them, and being in the place that you're in terms of gaining some stability of balance and emotional balance.
Caroline, it's been easy in some ways, and in other ways it's more challenging. It's easy for me to say to a team member, I'm not going to do the show with you. You've got everything you need. You can do it yourself. And they may say to me, I mean, it just happened recently. Somebody said, no, I'm not ready. I said, you are ready. I see it in you. I'm literally handing the baton to you and empowering you. And I think the fact that I support someone in that way, it gives them the confidence that they can do it. And if they make a mistake, it's a big deal. You know, the next time you'll get it right. So I think for me, a big part of balance is exercise. And also, I gave up caffeine 7 years ago. I gave up sugar. Now I've given up alcohol. I don't know what else I could possibly give up. I've never done drugs. So I get a good night's sleep, and I just am in gratitude all the time. I pray and I just thank God. Thank you, God, that I made it through this day. Thank you, God, that I met this person, that this happened, that happened. And the exercise, I haven't been able to exercise like I had been. It was 3 hours a day. I'm coming back. I'm getting there. And I just know that this is the mission that I'm on so that I can continue doing the work that we're doing here, Caroline, because we're not finished yet with this channel. We're just starting, and 100,000, it's going to be 1 million. And that's my goal, to keep getting us on more platforms. So as long as I have that drive and that belief in my heart, then I'm going to continue creating opportunities for all of us to continue sharing our story and getting out there to more people.
Well, Dr. Jacalyn, it has been inspirational. It's been an honor, and it really has been. It's been a journey for me, because I didn't even have a green screen when I first came onto the channel. I actually had, a blank wall, and I had to move all the furniture around to make sure that I could have a blank wall behind me. And I have a huge level of gratitude. In fact, whenever I do an email to Dr. Jacalyn, I always sign it in deepest gratitude. So we are now at the end of our show pretty much. So please, Dr. Jacalyn, share how viewers can contact you and the best way to reach you in terms of coming onto a show or even having a show of their own.
Thank you, Caroline. I'm excited about that. I love to have people come and have their own shows. You have to become an elevated listener first. Caroline, it's so interesting because people have to fill out surveys. I send surveys after the show. And part of it is, would you like to become an elevated listener? No. Will you buy Dr. Kerbeck's book? No, but I'd like to have a TV show. And then I meet with them and explain, well, this is what you have to do. They're like, oh, okay. And I explain to them, it's not a punishment. It's that you have to learn how to listen, because you can't be a world-class interviewer if you are tied to a script. Question 7, question 9. It's the same thing in sales. As you know, you might have a giant PowerPoint and you may never get to it because the conversation goes somewhere else. So for anyone who'd like to have a TV show, you have to have a certain amount of experience, a certain presence, but most importantly, you have to have a desire and a passion to help other people. You can go to usaglobaltv.com, and there is a link, a tab, I should say, across the top, which is Join Us, and the information is there. I would love to put up my own banner, which is here. I'd love to teach you and your company, your employees, how to listen through mastering the power of elevated listening. I'm actually teaching tomorrow night. I'm teaching Wednesday. So people are hiring me and bringing me in to teach their organization. And I'd love to do the same with you. You can find me on usaglobaltv.com as well as drjacalyn.com. Over to you, Caroline.
Oh, thank you very much. This has been an absolutely incredible show to do, to be in the hosting seat, Dr. Jacalyn. And I'm going to ask for your feedback on how I did.
You did great.
You can contact me and reach out to me either on LinkedIn or Facebook, which are my preferred platforms, or you can email me on nomorestress@live.co.uk, or call me, reach out and call on +44 if you're international. If you're local, 07523 120 189. And I look forward to seeing you and helping you bust your stress. Dr. Jacalyn, this has been an experience for me. I've really loved and enjoyed the show. It's been amazing to hear and share with our viewers a little bit more about your journey and how your calling has created a mammoth of a global station. Before we go over to our sponsors, please do join our VIP exclusive community and become an exclusive VIP community member for first access to our newest videos, photographs, and insights on the British royal family. It's live streamed on USA Global TV and Radio, and on YouTube. Thank you very much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you at the same time. We will have moved into springtime, British summertime next week. So it's 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I know it's British summertime, sorry, and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacalyn. What an absolute honour and a pleasure to do this show with you today. And I look forward to seeing you all on Monday next week and on Thursday for Talking Heads. Bye-bye for now. And thank you so much, everyone, whether you're listening on the live or the replay. And now over to our sponsors.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.